"I am waiting," said Midwinter. "Waiting? For what?" "For what is to happen to you or to me, or to both of us, before we are out of this ship." "With submission to your superior judgment, my dear fellow, I think quite enough has happened already. The adventure will do very well as it stands now; more of it is more than I want." He took another dram of whisky, and rambled on, between the puffs of his cigar, in his usual easy way. "I've not got your fine imagination, old boy, and I hope the next thing that happens will be the appearance of the workmen's boat. I suspect that queer fancy of yours has been running away with you while you were down here all by yourself. Come now, what were you thinking of while I was up in the mizzen top frightening the cows?" Midwinter suddenly stopped. "Suppose I tell you," he said. "Suppose you do." The torturing temptation to reveal the truth, roused once already by his companion's merciless gaiety of spirit, possessed itself of Midwinter for the second time. He leaned back in the darkness against the high side of the ship, and looked down in silence at Allan's figure, stretched comfortably on the deck. "Rouse him," the fiend whispered subtly, "from that ignorant self-possession and that pitiless repose. Show him the place where the deed was done. Let him know it with your knowledge, and fear it with your dread. Tell him of the letter you burned, and of the words no fire can destroy which are living in your memory now. Let him see your mind as it was yesterday, when it roused your sinking faith in your own convictions, to look back on your life at sea, and to cherish the comforting remembrances that, in all your voyages, you had never fallen in with this ship. Let him see your mind as it is now, when the ship has got you at the turning point of your new life, at the outset of your friendship with the one man of all men whom your father warned you to avoid. Think of those death-bed words, and whisper them in his ear, and he may think of them too. Hide yourself from him under an assumed name. Put the mountains and the seas between you. Be ungrateful, be unforgiving, be all that is most repellent to your own gentler nature, rather than live under the same roof and breathe the same air with that man." So the tempter counseled. So, like a noisome exhalation from the father's grave, the father's influence rose and poisoned the mind of the son. The sudden silence surprised Allan. He looked back drowsily over his shoulder. "Thinking again?" he exclaimed, with a weary yawn. Midwinter stepped out from the shadow, and came nearer to Allan than he had come yet. "Yes," he said, "thinking of the past and the future." "The past and the future?" repeated Allan, shifting himself comfortably into a new position. "For my part, I'm dumb about the past. It's a sore subject with me. The past means the loss of the doctor's boat. Let's talk about the future. Have you been taking a practical view, as dear old Brock calls it? Have you been considering the next serious question that concerns us both when we get back to the hotel? The question of breakfast?" End of Chapter 4, Part 1. Recording by Alan Winterowd. Boomcoach.blogspot.com